Well, good evening. There has not been a lot of air traffic around the Lake Hood area. The gusty winds, part of the issue, and those winds are continuing as we head into this evening. And be prepared. There are going to be some cold temperatures going into this evening. Let's check out what is happening across the Anchorage area right now. You can see a little bit of our camera still shaking as we get into this evening. Our winds out of the north, 12 miles per hour. Our temperature currently at the airport location, 36, which is also the highest through the day so far. Somewhat gusty winds, 40-mile-per-hour winds for King Cove, but the strongest winds have been in the south central area with Palmer, 56 miles per hour. No, close to 40-mile-per-hour winds out of the Seward area. Anchorage is at 35. We'll continue to see some gusty winds through this evening. Our hot and cold spot today goes to 10 below in Arctic Village, and Klawock was the hot spot in the Panhandle at 49 above. Daytime highs a little subdued with this colder air moving across the state. In fact, it was just 19 for the high in Galena, up to 20 in Fairbanks. It did make it to the 20s along the Arctic slope, but we have a number of weather alerts as well as watches and even warnings out. South Central has seen some temperatures that are mostly into the 30s, but we do pick up 40s around Cordova as well, and it was just under 40 degrees in Homer today. But this is the storm to watch, and there will be an initial run of some snow across these coastal locations, but we're going to be watching for high wind, high waves, rain, as well as snow as this storm system spreads across the state as we head through the weekend. This is the initial front that will bring a dose of snow, but we also have snow ongoing and also advisories and warnings for parts of the Panhandle. Juneau could see up to 12 inches of snow still to come. So they have already seen about 6 inches near that area. 15 inches reported out of the Haines area today. So this winter storm warning and advisories will continue over the northern portion of the Panhandle. Back into South Central, it seems like we have some nice conditions when you look at this, but it is windy out there. And we also have a number of alerts that we mentioned to you that continue to call for high winds along the western Arctic coast. That will go into Sunday and Monday. Winter storm watches into the interior as well. They could see 6 to maybe a foot of snow there. And coastal flood that were watches are now warnings, and they could see a 2 to 5 foot rise above high tide levels, and then blizzard warnings in the eastern Beaufort Sea coast. So it's going to be stormy as these series of storm systems work their way out of Kamchatka and across west coast, the northern portion of the state through the Brooks Range. Eventually, they'll scour out the high pressure that has been benefiting some of the south central area with at least some sunshine. By Monday, we're going to be back into some clouds with a chance of some precipitation moving our way. Here's a look at the forecast statewide. You can see that there's still some sunshine. The winds will still be sticking around the south central region into tomorrow, but a little bit down, less so. Continued storm warnings across the northern portion of the Panhandle. That will turn to rain on the southern end of the region. And across South Central, we'll see some sunshine, but again, those windy conditions all the way into the weekend, especially around Whittier into Valdez, the valley areas tonight, as well as tomorrow. Look for some cold teen temperatures in some of these locations around the region, too. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. 30s for our highs. Breezy, though, sunny. It's still a combination that calls for some chilly conditions. Temperatures will be into the 40s heading into next week with the arrival of that storm system. We'll have more coming up on the forecast, Joe, but you do need to bundle up in the next couple of days and nights.